Hello everyone, and today I've got with me this very special friend of mine who is totally inspiring, completely wholesome, and someone who have been setting benchmark in the industry in the kind of events we have to have for the public speaking. Someone who dreamt a long time back to have stage for all the people, all the common people, and today he has managed to create stages for a lot of people where they can now come and live their dream of public speaking. So he is none other than author Sherry. Let me give you a brief intro about him. Though this man is someone that you could actually write a book about him because he has a lot of accomplishment and he's always ever evolving, ever inspiring, and he is actually mentoring thousands of people and helping them grow and lead the dream which they have always think of doing it. So we start with a brief intro about Arthur Shen. Though about him, you would have read his books. You would have always seen him rocking on the stage. You would have always seen him mentoring people. You would have always seen him inspiring lives. And that's how this guest today is with us. And he's one of my very favorite people on this planet. Let's welcome our guest, Arthur Cherry. He has got 3 times the TEDx speaking and 3 times the Josh Doc. Three is the number. And has 3 books already published as a bestseller. And he is a change maker and transformational coach. So that is my very humble, very amazing friends, Auto Cherry. Auto Cherry, welcome you on Inspiring Life. You
Thanks a lot.
totally deserve to
Thank
be
you.
here. You
Thanks a lot.
totally deserve. Yeah. And I'm so
Thanks a lot.
thankful. I'm so thankful that you took out time and we could conduct the session earlier because of this network and electricity issues here. But I'm so blessed that you're back again. And, you are among my favorite people on this planet. So I totally love you. I totally love the kind of, vibes you bring, the kind of strategies, the kind of things, the kind of changes you bring, the kind of, work you are doing, even in this lockdown period when everyone seems to be thinking what we have to do. And you have
Yeah.
been actually trend setting a lot of events. So now we have a big community of public speaker all together. They are bringing change. They are influencing their normal circles. So you have actually created a big community out of that one spark idea. So happy to have you.
Thanks a ton, Priyanka, for all those kind words and nice wishes. Thanks for the lovely introduction. And I would like to say, beauty lies in the eyes of beholder. So it's all your greatness to see people with such positivity, optimism, and you are yourself a wonderful human being, and you know that without me being saying anything about it. People know that. So yes, I'm really looking forward for this wonderful interaction, which is going to add a lot of value to the lives of people.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Akshay. That's what I have always seen you. In fact, I've seen you being so mindful about every action you do that every action has a deep meaning to either uplift people or add values in their life or bring them from their uncomfortable circle, from taking them out from their this belief system, the limiting belief system they are having about themselves. And everyone, perhaps before even the school time, in the colleges time, when even people grow up, everyone perhaps dream to get on the stage, and you have
Yeah,
overnight made them celebrities by MS Talk, which is
yeah,
now known as Public Speaking University. And I could
yeah,
not be more happier when I see such people getting on the stage, sharing their thoughts fearlessly,
yeah.
and influencing the circle around them, and are becoming the positivity ambassador. And this all chain you started it. And we are
Yeah.
so proud of you, the kind of work you are doing for all of us. Thank you so much from the core of the heart.
Thanks,
And
Priyanka. Thank you so much.
I always, have this kind of feeling whenever I look up to you that when we are going into any event which is organized by MS Talk, and especially when you are involved, that the standards for that benchmarking is already here. So you know that you have the best of the people who are coming in. They have the best of the coaching being done by you, and we are going to have the best of the performances ever, and we're going to have tons of learning. So be it a digital public speaking championship or be it the kids public speaking championship, be it international public speaking championship, whatever you have organized so far has been so tremendously well. And we salute that spirit. Okay.
Many thanks once again. I don't know how many times I have to say thanks to you, but all I can say is you have been a part of the programs. It all
Yes.
happens because of the fact that I work on the ecosystem, not on just making money and giving a platform. And if you are doing any work which is beyond your imagination, you will notice that you will create something called loyalty over logic. And that's when you create the excellence for people. And then people learn from that environment, they feel that environment, they actually get that viability, that energy, that enthusiasm from that atmosphere. And that becomes electrifying.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. It's just like, 2 years in the journey, I know, but obviously I've known a lot about you. And I have a lot of students who follow this page, and I want them to seek inspiration from the real life heroes, and author Sherry being one of them. And just take those nugget of wisdom which he has implied in his life, and I'm sure your life is going to change. So, author Sherry, can I start with the formal questions round, and that will really help. These questions are formulated based on the questions which I've got from my viewers. So I've
Okay,
like tried to sum them up. So whatever they want to know and whatever I want to know and whatever will bring value to them. So on
absolutely.
sharing, public speaking is being a coach, being a public speaker coach is actually a dream for many. We always have in India the international coaches being so followed and being so rigorously in demand. But you have actually benchmarked today the public speaking industry. So from being a banker to be one of the most finest public speaker and TEDx coaches in India, please share the story of that journey, with our
Okay, that's an interesting one. I guess all these questions probably are might not be shared with me. I like to answer impromptu as the way I always love to be. It all started back in 2007 when I was doing my banking job. And I remember that evening when I was selected for a prestigious award in one of the private banking group. And I was about to collect that award. And I was like, what? I was feeling happy at that moment. My girlfriend that time, Jasmine, was about to accompany me, and I'm so open to say all these things because I want to make things vivid for all the viewers and the listeners who are listening to this. Jasmine was looking pretty. She joined me in the car. She was wearing a beautiful green color suit, Punjabi style, and wearing those beautiful green color jewelry. And we were singing songs on our way to the venue. And when we reached the venue, she said, "Today is your precious day. Do say something about how you have been able to achieve such good sales numbers because you're getting one of the prestigious awards in the bank, and that too by none other than the country head of the bank." So I was selected amongst the top three managers across the country who have achieved certain sales targets. And when we entered the venue, it was all full of enjoyment. People were enjoying the evening, someone was enjoying the drink, someone was enjoying the snacks, and we took our seats, we felt comfortable, and finally my turn was about to come, and Jasmine said, आज आप वो बोलना जाके जिससे लोगों को पता लगे कि आप क्या चीज हो। मैंने कहा हाँ हाँ क्यों नहीं, पक्का मैं वही बोलूंगा यार, तू चिंता मत कर। So my name was announced. I went near to the stage. I climbed on the stage. I was all super confident that time. And when my turn came, my country head gave me that prestigious award. I was feeling on cloud nine. And then he said, "Why don't you say a few words about your achievement, how you managed to achieve?" I said, "Sure, sir, why not?" And I went near to the dais. And now, till that moment, it was absolutely fine. I was enjoying the moment. I was feeling good. But in few seconds, I realized something happened to me. And later on in my career, I got to know that it was a panic attack. In front of 300 people, I was asked to say something and I got nervous. I could not utter a single word. My legs were shaking, my hands got trembling, I had my forehead full of sweat, and I realized that this is not going to happen this way. And suddenly there was a complete blackout. I forgot everything. My heartbeat got fast, and I realized that I have to now get down. Otherwise, it will be insulting for me. Now, that very moment when I came down, somehow I escaped the situation. I went to Jasmine. Jasmine said, क्या हो गया आपको? आज आपका इतना बड़ा दिन था, आज आपको बोलना चाहिए था कुछ, आपने बोला ही कुछ नहीं. I said nothing to her. And when we were on our way back, she said, आपने मेरी बात का जवाब नहीं दिया ना? क्या हो गया था आपको बताओ तो सही. And I said these lines to her. This day will never ever come back in my life again because I am going to learn and master the art of public speaking. Now, that very moment, I never realized that I'm going to become a public speaking coach. However, I understood the nitty gritties, I understood the art of public speaking. I witnessed more than 500 orators live speaking on the stage. I started reading the books and I did a lot of research on this subject. And finally, I started speaking. My first 30 speeches were pro bono, and after that, I started charging for my public speaking. And gradually, I became a keynote professional speaker. Now I get paid reasonably well for all the things which I share. And apart from that, I have a mission to create 1 million public speakers in India by 2030 through my platform MS Talks and Public Speaking University. And that's when it all got started and the journey began. And today I can proudly tell you that I have trained many orators in India and I've been launching a lot of programs. You have mentioned about that in the beginning of this interview. Also, at the same time, I have started working with different people, different demographies of people, where some people are from South India, some are from East India, some are from North India. So keeping that in mind that I can connect to anybody and everybody, I think that just releases the pressure that who can get trained on and who cannot. In fact, many of the teenagers also are a part of the Public Speaking University initiative, and that's when it all got started. So now I work as a TEDx speaker coach. I've trained TEDx speakers in India. They have delivered their TEDx talks. I've trained those talk speakers, and I've trained many public speakers. So that's how this journey began. And today I can proudly say that I have not only overcome my public speaking stage fear and an anxiety, but I'm helping people to overcome theirs.
Very well said, Dr. Sherry. I have seen personally, I've witnessed that how many people you have actually been helping. Some of them are really doing phenomenal good. They are under the right guidance, they are under the right wings. And we've seen Swarlin doing so well. She been mentored by you. I've seen two more
Yeah.
people doing super well. They've been mentored by you. In fact, anyone, like each feedback what you give them, the best part I like about you is that you're so authentic in your, statements. Like anything and everything you're telling to people, it is actually helping them becoming the
Yeah.
better self on the stages. So they are sweating behind the stages, but when they're on the stage, they are not bleeding in the war. They're just like so phenomenal. So that's how the
Okay.
coach,
Shall I
that's the power
shall
of the
I
coach.
shall I
That's the
say
power
something
of
in
right
between
coach.
apart from the questions also, if you will allow me? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So you see
sure,
the one thing which I
sure.
learned from my career so far in the area of public speaking is that you got to be somebody who is authentic. Now, authentic is just not the word you mean. It is the way you live. It is the
Yeah.
way you deliver your talks. Authenticity just does not come by learning public speaking. Authenticity comes when you are ready to talk, not from here, but from here. And that is what you need to learn. And if you can replicate those skills on the stage in front of any type of audience, you become one of the greatest public speakers of all time. And I help people become and achieve that position of authenticity.
So, so well said. And that's how I even feel. Like, I feel coaching children who are in the like digital public speaking championship, I think the kids, small kids, who was like, the youngest one was, I guess, the 4 years old who started with this. And I've seen the eldest one in the same public speaking platforms who was like 70 plus people who are also
Yeah.
participating. So you see, there's like unfinished dream people have. They have the stories. They need the platform, and you made it super easy for people to access that particular platform by giving MS Talk, by giving public speaking university. So this is one of the true value you have added to the society. We're so thankful to you for this.
Thanks, Pearl.
All right, Sherry, I have seen you always living a very simple yet extraordinary life. Very simple. I've seen you very simple and sorted and calm and composed and quite clear with a lot of clarity. But it is in the way is extraordinary because I have always seen you bringing a lot of value addition every time with your own resources. You are not looking at the limitations, you are always looking at the possibilities. This is what I've seen you living so extraordinary. So, as a successful coach now yourself, what is your advice to youth of our nation? What advice would you give them, which will never, make them
Okay.
fail in their life?
Okay. For youth, I want to say something that uh, when you are in your teenage or when you understand that what is good and what is bad for you, don't be in the hurry to understand your passion. Most of the youth and teenagers, they show a lot of hurriness. मेरा passion क्या है? मुझे क्या करना है life में? मेरा passion क्या है? Because they hear from somewhere that we have to follow our passion. Well, passion does not come easily many times. Unlike some exceptional cases like the god of cricket Sachin Tendulkar or the music maestro A.R. Rahman, well, or you can take another illustration of someone to the class of Tiger Woods. Well, these people have started doing everything at the early age, and somehow, as we say in psychology, they got connected to the brain synapses and they connected very well to what they were doing. On top of that, their family supported them. You got to understand one has to be vulnerable in whatever he or she is up to. At the same time, you need to give time to yourself. First of all, know thyself, know who you are, know what you're capable of, know what you can do. What is that one thing which comes at ease with you? What is that one thing which you can do without money, which drives you, motivates you, aspires you, perspires you, inspires you to get out of the bed and do that with your two hands, with all your capacity, strength, sagacity, faith, hope, confidence, stern pertinacity. What can make you smile and what you do can bring smiles on the faces of people. Now, these lines might be looking very fancy to you right now, but let me tell you, it took me some time for me to reach at this stage, but I can happily share today, live publicly, that I am living this life. And you know what? You, yes, you all can live this life. It is just a matter of time. Work on your mindset. Your brain drives your body. The mind is common with everybody. Work on the mindset. I'll give you three top hacks, suggestions, which can help you. And these three hacks or suggestions have changed my life over a period of time, and I still follow them. The first one is read good books. If you are fond of reading books, you can get access to environment, politics, you can travel countries without going anywhere. and you can travel the minds of people. Don't forget, reading books never failed anybody. The second is surround yourself with positive people. This is very easy to say, I know. You might be thinking this. But let me tell you that if you will start searching for the people who are doing something good, you will find them. And once you associate yourself with them, you will get to know about their positive qualities. You will get to know how they show resilience when they get some obstacles in life. And you will also get to know that how they embrace their struggles in life, learn from them. Life is all about learning. And more importantly, find out, be in the quest of such people who are making it better, who can find the light in the darkness. And the third suggestion which I want to share is talk is cheap. What we are doing right now, it's cheap. Action is everything. Take massive action. If you want to do something which is available to you and something is stopping you, eradicate that something because you yourself are selling short to your own self. So stop doing that and take massive action.
Wow, that was, guys, if you have listened to it right now during live, or if you're going to listen to it later on, I'm telling you, you are going to replay this entire conversation over and over again because this comes from expert with a lot of wisdom. This man has actually made, he's a self-made man, and he has actually made a lot of people their career graph has gone like this under his guidance, and whatever nugget he's speaking, this actually means something. So the moment you imply that, the moment you implement even one learning out of it, you will see your life graph is changing like this. And this is the power of a good coach. Thank you so much,
Pleasure.
Atashai. That was actually a very deep message and very meaningful. Yes. So power of proximity. Good books are something that which is like where you could travel and you could take all this learning and have it in your life.
Thanks, well.
Very good, Atashai. That was very commendable. Sherry, tell me one
Yeah.
thing. You're working with this mission of creating 1 million public
Yeah.
speakers in India
Yeah.
and continually one after another working on creative ways to keep people engaged in improving their state skills. How will it help basically building a greater nation and contributing more values to people's life?
Okay. Well, through my mission of creating 1 million speakers in India, am I'm sure that there's a lot of talent in India, and I'm here to leverage that soft power in India at global stage. And that's where I feel that the talent we have in India is way above than a lot of countries have. It is just a matter of polishing them, unleashing them, helping them, guiding them. And I am creating that platform where if anyone does not have a single penny in the pocket and they want to learn public speaking, they feel they can learn this art and do wonders. Author Sherry is there. Are you listening to me? Author Sherry is there for you. बेटे अगर आपके पास पैसे नहीं है आप मेरे को अप्रोच कर सकते हो. That is what is missing in our country. People are just running after money. Money definitely comes to you. Money is a byproduct. I never want to work for money in my entire life. I want to work for people also. I'm a people driven man. I love to be part of the lives of the people. I love to make good relationships, healthy friendships, and prospering connections with people. And that's how I am evolving myself. Now, talking about the mission more on public speaking, as I said earlier, I found my ikigai, my reason for being, my passion, mission, vocation, and profession is one right now. हमारे माँ बाप ने भी हमें यही सिखाया था, बेटे एक काम करना, बस एक काम, सिर्फ एक काम करना, लेकिन उस एक काम को इतना दिल से करना कि उसमें तरक्की भगवान देने पे मजबूर हो जाए, सारी कायनात जुड़ जाए, अपनी जान लगा देना, खून पसीना एक कर देना, इश्क कर लेना अपने काम से, और देखना ये दुनिया तुम्हारी वाहवाही भी करेगी और तुम्हारे एग्जाम्पल भी देगी। वो एक काम आपने करना है। The mistake a lot of youngsters and some of the adults are adopting these days is they get into too many fields. कोई दो काम में लगा है, कोई तीन काम में लगा है. There's no harm in that. You can definitely do that. But my humble submission is, first of all, get excellent in one work, in one field. ऐसे ही तो करते हैं ना सब बड़े बड़े entrepreneurs. You take examples of anyone. You take example of Jeff Bezos, JRD Tata, anybody, Anand Kotak, all these people, Anand Mahindra, sorry, all these people, you will see उन्होंने एक बिजनेस पहले अच्छा सेट किया है, उसके बाद वो मल्टीपल डाइवर्सिटी ऑफ बिजनेस में आए हैं. तो पहले आप वो एक काम, द वन थिंग, उसको बढ़िया से करो. And this is what I have adapted in my life, because your focus is clear then. You know what is the biggest problem, Pearl, these days with youngsters and many people around? They are not focused. They have the talent, but they are not focused. They have the passion, but they are not focused. They have the willingness to learn, but they are not focused. They are ready to transform themselves, but they are not focused. Focus plays a major role. And by saying focus, all I'm trying to say is decide one thing for yourself, prepare for that one thing for yourself, attempt that one thing for yourself, fail in that, fail it, fail हो जाओ. और फेल होने के बाद एक चीज करना मत भूलना, उठना मत भूलना. गिरने के बाद जो उठता है ना वो कामयाब होता है. So just remember that. These are some of the things which I have followed personally, and God has been very kind. I am able to express and expand my hand and my expertise to a lot of people.
That was commendable. That was really commendable. So focus space actually, your focus change the drive of all energies, and then it
Yeah,
gets you to your mission. Exactly. So that's how like talking to you always is like talking to a Bible, because it has so many nuggets of wisdom which is coming in. So every time I talk to you, I access to a lot of books, a lot of wisdom, which is like biteable, nugget-sized information, which is passing through and which is easily implementable. And that's how the complex process, which you do with the public speaking championships and all, you help people simplify those in a very nicer way that they bring up with the same topic with a lot of creative ideas. And thank you so much, Audrey Sharif. This really means
pleasure.
a lot.
Pleasure. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to express and share my answers without interruptions. That's so kind of you.
I'm able to learn. I'm able to learn a lot, and I'm sure this because all these interviews, especially which are now there in our new era of YouTube and Facebooks and through the social handle, they are
Yeah,
going to live here. They are going to stay here on this platform for years to come, and
true.
perhaps not everyone will have to relive the story, and they can take the learning from the expert. So this was
That's true.
always happening the focus. And that's how I really wanted to bring the real people who have genuinely raised their bar, who have genuinely influenced others, who have genuinely inspired the lives to be on the show and to share their deeper sides with all of
I
us.
I really appreciate your initiative, and I've been watching some of the episodes also, and trust me, they're very inspiring.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Alushay. Alushay, please guide the youth today during this tough time, what we are going through. A lot of us are actually depressed because the businesses are not booming. A lot of us are finding a struggle because things are not as it was earlier. So, what is your advice? There are three advices I would ask you. So, advice number one, how to keep oneself motivated. You have been a very self motivated person. From a depression to a self enthusiastic and to be helping other people living a beautiful and inspiring life, I've seen you how you have stood out high in your life, right? So please tell us like how to keep ourselves motivated, and then what are the key ways to keep a check on your personal growth. A lot of time our youth is completely derived on the degrees education, and the rest of the days they are spending on to the social networking, which is not very much adding value in them. And
Yeah.
the things are more like in the games and all the stuff, which are actually not life skills, which are not going to help them anyway. And how can they be future ready? So the three questions are like, first, how they keep themselves self motivated without having validation and approval from others. Second one is that how do they keep check on their personal growth? And the third one is how do they keep future ready?
Okay. Okay. So let me answer the first question, how to keep yourself self motivated. The best way of keeping yourself self motivating is by adapting something called emotional intelligence. Now, this may be a little heavy word for most of you, but let me tell you, it is not that heavy. And we all have been using that unconsciously. And I recommend start thinking about the perspectives of people. Start accepting people. That's where you will understand life more. Instead of getting angry, frustrated, jealous, which is so common in today's time because of the competition everywhere, start accepting the minds of the people. Everyone is unique, everyone is different. Accept that difference. Apart from that, you need to understand that everyone has certain perspectives because they have seen something as per their life, they have felt something as per their experiences, and they are living something as per their environment. If you can understand this small thing, trust me, you are emotionally intelligent. The second thing which I want to share with all of you is, now this is a godly habit. I call this as godly habit, but I have seen many human beings on this planet have been adapting, living, encouraging, inspiring by living this habit, and that is empathy. Empathy is a Greek word. M stands for to see through, and pathy means the eyes of other. To see through the eyes of other. How can you empathize people is what you need to learn. If you can just do that, you will learn more about your own self, you will learn about the world more, and suddenly this ugly world will start looking beautiful to your eyes because you have not changed anything. Nothing changed. Not the people, not the government, not the clouds, not the weather, not the way people talk about you, but only one thing changed, and that is you. And remember, for things to change, I have to change. For things to get better, I have to get better. That's how you can keep yourself self motivated. Now, Pearl, can you help me with the second question? Probably I lost the question in the flow.
Sure. That was very engrossing answer, very beautifully answered. Thank you.
Yeah.
So the second question I had was like, what are the ways to keep check on your personal growth? A lot of time we are very confused about our growth. So what are the ways we can check our own personal growth? And that's we
Okay.
can do ourselves, right? Yeah.
Okay. Okay. For personal growth, I would like to say something. Um, the place you enter to fear holds the treasure you seek. Now, you need to understand one thing here. We all are passionate or interested in doing something in life. Now, what is that one thing? First of all, understand that. If you love singing, do that. If you love dancing, do that. If you love playing sport, do that. If you love talking, doing public speaking, do that. If you love training people, do. If you love to do business, do that. Do whatever you want. You have to be in sync with what you like. That's the first area you need to keep a track. The second thing which I would suggest is how you can increase the capacity inside you. Now, many people talk about think big or go home. Now, we have read that book, The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. Well, thinking big is good in life. I know you like thinking big. I know you like to think about a Rolls Royce car. You love to have an island. You love to have a few $1 billion in your account. Or you love to have 10, 15, 30 houses across the world. That's good for you. Think big. But what are you thinking and what are you doing to create that capacity to become big is what you need to understand. That's the tick mark you need to tick all the time. And in order to achieve that, you need to work on your learning curve, attend more workshops, interact with more learned people, meet the business people, and ask about their failures. Don't ask about their success. Wrong question. Ask about their failures. Ask them to narrate about their those tough times when they don't have any single penny in the pocket, or they went through some time where they had character building time. Situations were tough, but they embraced it well. And the times when they got bankrupt or insolvent and they have made a comeback. That's what you need to ask. That is the second tick mark you need to do. And the third I would suggest strongly for all of you is of your health. Well, that is very important. If you have money, if you have everything in your life, if you have bank balance, home, property, good family, but if you don't have good health, you will not be able to enjoy anything. That's an important tick mark there to be ticked all the time. Yeah, I'm working on that myself. Now, another aspect of keeping a track of your personal growth is how many times you thank and be in that mode of gratitude. If you love to visit a temple to pay gratitude to God, that's fine. If you love to be in that state of mind through meditation, that's fine. If you love to donate some amount or food through your regular activities, that's fine. The idea is how many times you are there in the mindset of gratitude. Because if you have gratitude inside you, the fear cannot enter. If the fear is inside you, the gratitude cannot enter. Is that true for you? If it's not, then you can just check it out. It stands true like the way I said. And the last tick mark I would like to suggest is no matter who you are, where are you from, which country you live in, whatever you are doing in your life, if you are missing out this important critical point in your life, my dear friend, you are finished. Never underestimate the power of touching the feet of your parent, respecting your parents. If they are old, they are God to you. Respect the God, love them, treat them well, because soon when you will get old, you will be treated by your kids the same way. And importantly, if you do that, trust me, whatever the blockages you have in your life, you will suddenly feel and you will gradually notice that all those blockages get clear and you win. If you can follow these five tick marks about personal growth, which I suggested, I think you can do reasonably well in the life.
Thank you so much, Adhishari. And you know, the way you mentioned about touching the feet, I remember when my mother came in that kids public speaking championship. She
Yeah.
still remembers you. Yes, while she was on the stage, you've given a very good and warm, regard as an elder. You just touched her feet, and she was like, "Oh, someone like him, he just like touched my feet. He's so great." So she still remembered that thing about you, and she's part of your public speaking
Wow.
university. Trust me. She watches all your
Wow,
episodes.
awesome.
So that's how you
That's a
build
news for me.
connection. So that's how you build a connection, you know.
Wonderful.
That's how you actually touch with life.
Wonderful.
So, okay. And इसी question का जो हमारा third part, which is like that, how can, like, what are the skills today children need to be future ready? What are
Okay.
the top three skills which are, which we all need?
Okay. Great question. The first skill you need to learn, or if you have, you need to evolve is communication. Never underestimate the power of communication. I would strongly recommend to learn the art of communication. The second is, as I mentioned earlier, emotional intelligence, most important. And the third is art of reading books. Now, there are many skills which I can tell you. I can talk about critical thinking, creativity, innovation, business intelligence. This all will follow if you will follow these three: communication, emotional intelligence, and art of reading. And you know what? These three skills can be achieved just by doing one thing. Would you like to know what is that one thing? Just one thing. If you will do just one thing in your life, you can actually achieve all these three: communication, art of reading, and emotional intelligence as well. Just one thing you need to do, and that one thing is public speaking. So just do public speaking, and you will see gradually over a period of time, you will achieve all these three skills, which are most critical in life, and you will never remain the same in your life.
Yes, so well said, actually, because when you share your thoughts and ideas with people, so suddenly you realize that how much you have capacity to influence others, how much you are able to, create that influence, and eventually everything is about influence. It is the structure which will add a lot of beauty to your career, to your success graph, to your relationship. In fact, like everywhere, a lot of relationship which I've seen gets failed because there is either a lack of communication or things not spoken in a way that it creates impact.
Yeah.
Right, and that is a how. So make note. These are nuggets. You just need to make a note and keep it ready, keep it handy. All right, Arthur Sherry, tell me one thing.
Yeah.
How do you, like, you have so many achievements and so many of, like, success stories to your life, to your courtesy. How do you remain so grounded still? What makes you, so hooked, so grounded all the time? So you are people's person, so instead of, when people see you as a people's leader, they see you people's person. So like, people admire you, they love you, they just like, they shout out for you, they like, you actually live in their hearts. So how do you remain so grounded? Tell me this. No air about anything.
Okay. Well, I'm so grateful to you for asking this question, first of all. And let me answer this by sharing one philosophy which I follow: stay humble and you will never stumble. Now, I learned this philosophy through one of my mentors, and since then I've started living this. No matter how much you achieve in life, if you can be in that mindset of giving back to people, you will see everything will be balancing all the time for you, just like an equilibrium. You don't have to maintain that. Just put in the right stuff on both the bowls, and the balance is maintained. You don't need to take care of that balance. That balance is automatically taken care of. Just make sure that if you get something in your mind which is keeping you high, make sure that on the other bowl you're keeping something which makes you humble. And this art of giving, this power of giving starts the receiving process. Jim says giving start the receiving process from multiple avenues. So be in the habit of giving back to people. Give as much as you can. Now giving just not does not mean that you have to spend some money from your pocket. No. If you have a book, somebody is in the need of the book, give that book. Show that intention. The power of intent has to be there. If somebody needs you physically, emotionally, morally, be there. That's giving. If you will increase that, you will see your personal success getting multifold very soon.
Thank you so much. That is how, so humble doesn't stumble. So this is what I learned. I myself, I've been someone like this. I really get connected with those people who are very pretty much
Yeah,
humble and they are accessible. And and I this is the same learning I give to all my students and all my even my kids.
yeah,
Like you just like whatever you have, you just need to keep grounded. That's it.
yeah. One more thing I learned from Sandeep Marwa ji. Yeah, Dr. Sandeep Marwa, the founder of Marwa Studios. Now we are in regular touch now for a lot of things. I love to interact with this gentleman. What I learned from Sandeep is that be accessible. Now, even if you become big in your field, even if you become somebody whom people love to meet, don't show your attitude. Be accessible. At least give one chance to the person who want to reach out to you, and always make it a point. I do that. उससे किसी और का फायदा नहीं, आपका अपना फायदा है. आपके मन में कभी ये नहीं आएगा कि मेरे पास कोई आया था और मैंने उसको मना कर दिया. आपने तो उसको एक बार हाँ करी थी ना मिलने के लिए. तो एक्सेसिबिलिटी बहुत जरूरी है. दैट्स अ इम्पोर्टेंट trait of leadership in your life. I've learned that from Sandeep Marwaji. I think Sandeep ji, if you're listening to this is for you.
Exactly, and I've seen this gentleman being so simple, and he's actually very accessible. He like
Yeah.
always like greets you. Anytime he greets you, he remembers you. He remembers your achievements which you have got. He always
Oh
remember.
yes.
He creates a personal connection. So that's how it always like helped him grow so much, I guess, because he have been very very accessible to almost all of us.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even a student would reach to them to the studio, Marva studio, he would be very very welcome to give all the access and all the solution. And Sandeep Marvaji, lots of love and admiration from our side, both of our side. So,
Absolutely.
already, had there been any kind of, any kind of things you regret about? Like, what advice would you give to your younger self when you were young, and there had been something which you have done wrong, and if you now it's the time to give that younger self advice, what advice would it be?
Okay, that's an interesting one. Well, I would say that I always said one thing to myself, that I have to make a comeback no matter what. No matter what turmoil I've been through, no matter what I'm facing right now, and no matter what is going to happen, I will never forget to make a comeback. I will never forget to get up and stand on my 2 feet and say, I'm on. And that is what has driven me in the past so many years. Challenges do not come to break you, they come to make you. And that's what I have understood in my life over a period of time. And that is how I've evolved myself. So whenever I think of giving up, whenever I think of getting down, or whenever I'm also a human being, the thoughts do come. I manage my thoughts and I tell myself, no matter what, I have to make a comeback. No matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I am going to make it. I am going to make it.
Yeah, thank you so much, viewers, Pooja, Vinay, and Swarli, for all your love. We are reading your comments, and it really encourages us. Thank you for being such a wonderful support all the time. And these guys have been someone who are actually constantly encouraging you, being part of the live viewer. And it takes a lot of effort to take out the time and to be present. And we're so thankful to you for this. All right, Atashai, now I'll start with the one-liner. I'll state a half statement. You have to complete whatever comes in your mind. So
Okay.
be someone who.
Who can help anyone?
Okay, that's how my buddy is all about. He's so helping. So you can see, like in the instant and rapid fire, you always have the best things coming out from the heart. So this is how this gentleman is, as I mentioned. Okay, life is all about.
Understanding your own self.
Yes. When I face a challenge, I first.
Tell myself that no matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it.
Okay, I go fear of failure by.
Sorry, I go.
Fear of failure by. I let go fear of failure by.
Okay, by reading good books.
Okay. Okay, to unwind I.
Sorry, your voice is cracking too.
Okay, to unwind yourself. Like when you get like little, okay, I'm done. I'm just like over with it. To unwind yourself. What do you do?
I still didn't get the
Because,
question clearly. I think your voice is cracking. Well,
all right. Okay, no problem. I'm asking, am I clear now? Audible to you?
yeah,
I'm
yeah, you're
asking
audible. Yeah.
to unwind yourself, like to how do you really break your boredom, or when you get like that break moment, how do you unwind yourself?
Ah, okay.
What do
I
you
sing.
do?
I sing that time.
Okay, all right. Who inspires you the most?
My mom.
Okay, and your favorite quote is?
My favorite quote. There are many, but formal education makes you a living. Self-education makes you a fortune. That's one of my favorite.
Yes, yes, it is always self-education, obviously. We also realize it that, like, I've got my degree of PhD in psychology, and it really gives me always a reminder that it has always been those self-education, those learning which I've learned in my life, which helped me getting a lot of achievement. And
Yeah.
this even I heard this saying by Brian Tracy in Singapore. We had a session with him from my company, and there he mentioned this thing, and I was like, wow, actually, sometimes in that entire training process you would not get anything, but then there would be that small trigger, small nugget that will be just like so life changing, so that's how this
Absolutely.
coaches brings to you, and it's so much of respect you always have for them. You always remember them for all those
Yeah.
nuggets which they have. Very good,
True.
always, Sherry. Thank you so much for your time, for all the friendship which we have, for all this lovely time which I have. And trust me, while having a conversation with you today, I got enough of lesson which I can actually implement in my life and which will help me become a better person more, you know.
That's
And
so
for
humble of
sure,
you. But
no, for sure. And this particular episode is going to be life savior tools for many. And as I always promise you that I bring to you those people who have really been trendsetter, and their each and every word is the nugget of wisdom, the tools which they are telling you. You don't have to do the same mistake in life. Just take the learning from their life and implement something. Sherry, now tell me, there are three books you swear by about personal development you would recommend to anyone.
there are many of them. In fact, what comes quickly right now, impromptu, I can share. The Success Principles by Jack Canfield. The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma.
Robert, yeah.
And Psycho-Cybernetics by Dr. Maxwell Maltz. And I can tell you list of books actually. And I can go on and on and on. But this top three comes to my mouth, so I've just said it. It's just not in the synchronization, but you can definitely give it a read. These three books are powerful.
Thank you so much. That was such a lovely sharing. There was such a lovely deep insight. And I always, whenever I talk to you, whenever I see you personally, whenever I see your actions, when I see you doing things, it just awestruck me with a lot of admiration and a lot of respect always. So I feel totally it's a blessing to have someone like you as a friend. And if you are lucky that you've been coached by Author Shari, so you have your success graph, no one can stop. Okay. So you should be very, very proud that you have got the right person coaching you.
Likewise, Pearl, I want to say something about you as well. Though it's
Yeah.
your show, if you give me permission, I can share something
All
about you.
yours. Yeah.
Well, I have been in connection with Pearl for some time, and let me tell you that she is doing commendable work. I have seen the way she empowers the kids around, and the way she helps the kids realize their true potential in terms of their personality, because she is the real personality architect, and she knows her work really well. I have seen that from my two next can only say that if your kid go to Pearl, they are bound to get better. There's no option. There's no other option for them. And that's the kind of transformation I've seen and the ability that they do public speaking. I've been in your events also. So all my best wishes to your organization, each and everyone who are associated with you, taking coaching and training from you. Keep on empowering them. And I promise wherever you seek my help, I'm always there. You'll find me there always.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And you know, yours are the kind of event I actually blindly tell my students to go and participate, because there you are going to have a very, very integrated decision and no bias. Because it was the very first time last year when I first we had an interaction with you, and I
Yeah,
first brought my students over there. I remember your daughter was part of the event. She was participant,
yeah,
and how gracefully the jury was someone who was deciding the marks, and Taveen didn't stand out that time. And you were very happy, even congratulating the other kids who were from outsiders and they participated well, but they won by their own method. And I have seen Tavleen also bringing this value in her, that she realized that participation is more important than winning. So she's like always like with full enthusiasm, she's participating and she's like giving that 100%. She's getting better every time. And that's how perhaps she has inherited from you and from Kara. You've been a wonderful parents yourself and you've been a wonderful coaches yourself. You know, and Kara being one of the spinal cord of MS Talk, I know I cannot really forget the kind of contribution and value addition that the dots she connects, you know. So this is so amazing, and this comes up when you have a true leadership. And also, Sherry, no one better than you does that very well. So that's a real commendable job which you do. The true
many thanks
leadership.
for your kind words. Thank you. Thank you for your kind
So
words.
thank you so much, and thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much for empowering with us, you know, and thank you so much for educating us with all the nuggets of wisdom which are life changing. And we take our
Our
leave.
pleasure.
I'll bring to you next week another special guest. Stay tuned. Thank you, Author Sherry. See ya. God bless
Thank
you.
you. Thank you for having me.
Take care.